Welcome back. Passion and heart is the language of rugby, and we are speaking it this morning with an incredible weekend of games behind us already. You need to know how to plan for your weekend ahead accordingly so you don't miss any of the action. Round 2 is going to be amazing, and proud sponsors of the 2023 Rugby World Cup, TOTALENERGIES, is here to keep us all ahead of the game with a bit of rugby news. And of course, Nathan is going to help us break down some of the big fixtures this weekend before he heads off for France, dude. I'm struggling to wrap my head around it. You must be like a kid bouncing off the walls, dude. So happy for you. But of course, we've got to get through a few games before you head off. New Zealand, Namibia. I think we are desperately wanting this Namibian side who have got some great players, some great finishers, a couple of stalwarts in that team, and they seem to have kind of shored up a lot of like the structures. I think all the minnows seem to have those basics down on a different level. Is this the one where we should be expecting the big upset of this World Cup? Is this a Japan Springbok scenario possibly? How are you feeling about the All Blacks right now?
I mean, anything is possible. We saw yesterday, Uruguay nearly gave us a scare yesterday against France. But again, New Zealand are coming from two disappointing defeats and two poor performances. Obviously going to be looking for a big performance against Namibia this week.
Yeah, and they're going to need the points difference. They're going to need everything that they can get at this stage, and a couple of milestones thrown into the mix there as well. So I have a feeling for Sam Whitelock, they're going to go the distance, because this may well be his last big opportunity at a Rugby World Cup, or probably. I love that. Then we move to tomorrow's lineup. Great matchups here. When we talk about Samoa versus Chile, I think Chile-Japan was a really interesting encounter. Samoa can do anything. I've toured with the Samoans, and they live rugby on a different level. This could be a really interesting one. Betting is going to be really difficult for this one. How do you see that one playing out?
I think the focus of this for that day is the Samoa game. We haven't seen Samoa in the World Cup. We saw how they played against Ireland. They gave Ireland a big scare there. Ireland didn't play the full strength team. But against Samoa, have the likes of Christian Elefano, Stephen Luatua, and then Lemo Spoag on the bench. Season campaigners for Australia and New Zealand back in the days, obviously now for Samoa now. So it's going to be exciting. Yes, it might not be at the peak, but it's going to be an exciting clash.
And we know in these kind of moments where all bets are off now, that experience and having tasted that before really does count. I fear for Portugal, out of all of the so-called minnow teams, and I mean that with all due respect, because if you've made it to a Rugby World Cup, you're in the top tier. Yeah. I get that, but out of all of the teams that would have been given the biggest scare, Wales were pushed against Fiji, and they discovered some mettle, some strength. I think maybe that's what Gatland needed to kind of ignite those fires again. This Portuguese side, not a very experienced side when it comes to a Rugby World Cup. They're facing a Wales team that I think is going to look and feel different.
Yeah, Wales will be looking to gain more confidence leading up to the quarterfinals for them. Yes, they might not have a much more hectic pool than compared to Pool B, Pool A and B for South Africa and other side of France. But again, it's going to be very critical that Wales do pull in a good performance against Portugal.
And they're going to need the big scores. Again, likewise, when we take on Romania on Sunday. I know Eddie was saying earlier that none of these teams are actually acting like minnows right now, and we should take every team very seriously. With the amount of experimentation with our 4 scrum-halves, with players being played in different... It might feel out of position for us, but many of them started in those positions, have played wing, have played fly half. I mean, Faf could probably play anywhere in the back line. So we understand the need to do it, but we also need maximum point scoring. Does it kind of play in our favour that a lot of these players are looking to put their hand up right now for maybe getting that starting position?
Yeah, I think it's very important that these games leading up to playoffs, we need to have a good game, big performances for every single team, for every single player. So, yeah.
I like that. It becomes almost an individual competition now in these sorts of games, but we need to keep the bigger picture firmly in focus. I'm going to say the game of the weekend is going to be Australia-Fiji. Do you think this Fijian side can make good on the promise that we've seen? Because they are looking amazing. A fresh, young Australian team. Eddie Jones is taking some major risks there with the side. Seeing how Fiji did against Wales, could this be the one that Fiji are going to win?
I think Fiji, I was watching the press conference afterwards, the captain and the coach were very upset after they lost. So it's going to be very tough for them. So I think that this game might be the one that topple Australia. There are a few Fijians in the Australia team as well. Valentini and the wing as well. So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be crazy. I think this whole weekend is going to be crazy, buddy. I don't think we're going to get a chance to speak to you while you're still in South Africa, bro. So happy travels.
Thanks.
We'll definitely connect via video with you on that side. But thank you. You've been an amazing resource for us. Go and enjoy it, bud.
Thanks.
All the way to the final, hopefully. Absolutely love our connection to the Rugby World Cup. Not only now Total Energy is giving you the chance to stay connected to all of the beautiful games, but you can be a part of the Total Energies Club and earn so much more. Simply join on *120 *2683# or via totalenergies.co.za and get some truly incredible rewards, never mind just on game day, but any day of the week.
Just like in rugby, it's uniting our energies that helps us move forward.